Journey Shreds. Today we're going over the top 3 Journey, licks, and solos that absolutely shred. Today's video is a fun one, so make sure to hit that subscribe button below so you can stay up to date with all the latest guitar hack content. Alright, so Neal Schon is the guitarist and one of the founding members of Journey. The dude is fast, melodic, he showcases great improvisation and songwriting. And while he does have a lot of face-melting epic solos, I really wanted to focus on the hidden shreds that exist within popular Journey tracks. And before we start, just like always, in order to play these licks to perfection, you gotta play them at a slow tempo before getting to lightning speed. And one last thing, Neal Schon rarely plays these songs note for note live, so with that being said, I would say that these transcriptions are about 95% accurate to the actual recorded version, with a little hint of my own flair. Alright, so Separate Ways is definitely one of the more flashier solos from Journey, and it is all about the note choice in the beginning, and then it quickly transfers into this killer shredding style that Neal Schon is known for. This solo should be a familiar shape for most of us as it highlights the E natural minor, and for this solo we will be using lots of bending, we will be using lots of alternate picking, and we'll definitely be using some sliding. And for the most part, the intro of the solo is fairly simple. Neal is highlighting a lot of those arpeggios from the chord progression. And the bulk of the shredding comes from the next section of the solo, where Neal is showcasing a lot of alternate picking in that trill style right hand where he's hitting all of those 16th note triplets. One of the trickiest parts of the solo is trying to get that alternate picking down extremely clean. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. It usually hovers around the 19 area is where I tend to have a little bit of issues around that B note right here, because we slide into the B note with one finger and then I transfer the finger to my pinky. But how he plays it is more like this. And it's kind of hard to do that in one cohesive sequence, and I'll show you my little trick around that. Is when you slide with your middle finger into the 9, you start doing the trill picking. I kind of over accent that transfer from the middle to the pinky finger, so I go. And that really kind of helps me hone in on the right to left hand synchronization. And definitely the next hardest part of the solo is going from those 3 to 2 note per string runs, because it's really kind of playing tricks on your right hand, something like this. It's kind of hard to keep up with it. Sometimes the best way to do that is to break it up into sections. Alright, moving on to Don't Stop Believing in the key of E major. What an iconic lick. And if you can manage to get it down cleanly, it is shred-tastic. Now I will be displaying the tab right here, even though it is only 4 notes, but do not let it fool you. These 4 notes are going to creep up on you real quick, and getting the rhythms down with these sextuplets is not going to be an easy thing. So let's take a moment and talk about sextuplets. Sextuplets are a group of 6 notes of equal length that are performed over a duration of 4 notes of equal length. This can be thought of as 2 triplets. Hands down, the hardest part is going from those 16th notes to those sextuplets, but in a very seamless way. And the best way that I have for practicing this is by thinking of groups of 4 versus groups of 6, and playing that rhythmically would go something like this. Any way you want it. In the key of G major, this one has lots of bends, lots of slides, fun patterns, lots of shapes, and this one is one of my personal faves because of how the rhythm takes over. The challenging part here is attempting to play it exactly the way Neil plays it on recording. If you are able to nail it, or kneel it, as I like to say, the overall result is extremely rewarding. The best advice I have for this one is to make sure that you are bending to the correct pitch, especially for that full bend going from that A to the B, and the best way to do that is to simply play a B and then to simply play an A to the B like so. One of the things I love so much about the solo is how Neil adds character to his notes, especially with those reverse bends and the slides like so. He even adds a little bit of a chromatic accent in there for a perfect resolve. This solo, certified shreds. So there we have it. That concludes today's video of the top 3 Journey licks that shred. I really hope that you have a newfound love for Neil Schon and Journey, as they are a true gem in my eyes. If you got any value from today's video at all, smash that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest guitar hack content. I look forward to making many more pieces of similar content. If you have any ideas at all, definitely leave them down below in the comments or feel free to message me. Until next time, shredders.